Osiyo, it's how we say hello in Cherokee. I'm your host, Jennifer Lauren, in Lost City, near Holbert in the Cherokee Nation. This serene community is home to many Cherokee families, including that of beloved culture keeper, Hastings Shade egyᎨᴨ. Hastings was a former deputy principal chief and Cherokee National Treasure. He lived a storied life of service before passing in 2010. By sharing his vast knowledge of Cherokee culture and lifeways, Hastings became an inspiration, and his memory serves as a reminder of the legacy leaders leave for the lives they touch.
In your lifetime, you'll meet someone that touches your life through his words, through his actions, and friendship. And that was Hastings.
He was kind, he was soft-spoken, very knowledgeable.
He understood where we come from and our meaning and our purpose for our people. He knew the language. He was a teacher. He was a helper. He was all of those things. My name's Larry Shade. I am the eldest son of Hastings Shade. We are at his shop here in Lost City, Oklahoma. When I grew up, this is where he spent most of his time. He loved making gigs, forging fish and crawdad gigs. And this is where I spent a lot of time with him. He was born and raised here in this area. My mom's Loretta. I met her, and they were married in this area, and they built their home here. To this day, this shop stands as it did as he built it. My brothers and I will use it today. So kind of in remembrance. Those guys that talked about going with Dad and gigging, and they had to carry fish, well, that was their initiation. I guess my initiation was to fit all the wood to all the gigs that he's made. That's kind of what Dad loved doing. Those are all made right here in this shop many years ago. A lot of culture and a lot of history was presented to us right here.
He was real knowledgeable in the history, the culture, and tradition of the Cherokees. He would share his knowledge with everyone. Hastings, Sequoia Guest, both are deceased now, and Woody Henson and myself, we would go and travel and do presentations with him. And Hastings used to call it the everything you want to know about Cherokees, but was afraid to ask. Hastings would talk about the culture, talk about the history and religion and medicine. Sequoia Guest would be doing the storytelling. I would be showing my crafts. Woody would bring his snakes and talk about the safety of handling snakes or what to watch for when they're out in the woods. Every time we went on a trip, he would always put in a CCR CD. He always loved listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival. And so we would turn that up when we're driving down the interstate, and we would enjoy the music. And then one day we're coming back and we're driving down Interstate 40, and Hastings driving, of course, he says, we need to call a group something.
So we thought about that. He goes, what about Turtle Island? I'm like, yeah, that'd be good. I think it's Sequoia, maybe Sammy. He said, there's really no Cherokee word, for storyteller, but there is one for liar, So there it came, Turtle Island Liar's Club. The importance of, this is our story from our people, a resettled people from back east, our home back, in Carolinas and Tennessees. They survived some of those handed down stories, and they traveled the trail too, just like the people did. The stories came, and we think we're just kind of revitalizing those and hoping the younger generation will pick up the mantle and continue storytelling, to seek us out, just like we did at Hastings, and keep the fire burning, in other words. Yeah. Some people are blessed with such skills. We all have gifts, and that was his gift of just retaining knowledge, seeking knowledge, and the ability to share it.
Growing up, he would tell us things, or he would sing songs in Cherokee, and I often ask the question, Dad, why do you sing that song, or why do you say that? And he would say, well, Bub, before I can tell you, I first have to tell you a story. One of the things that he told me to, he said, a long time ago when our Creator first put us here on earth, The reason he put us here on earth is that we were the caretakers of this earth. And he said a long time ago, all of these things could communicate with the trees, the rocks, the wind, the rain. All of these things talk to each other. But he said, we don't do that anymore. The rest of nature still does that. The only disconnect is us. We're no longer taking care of our resources. We're sometimes more in it for ourselves. What can I obtain out of it, or what's in it for me? He said, a long time ago, we didn't think that way. When it was time to go help somebody, we went to help. We didn't ask for nothing in return. And that's how he believed.
Hastings was just a regular person. He never put himself on a pedestal. Even though he was deputy principal chief, he was always just a normal person. You could get along with him. You could talk with him.
He's a wedge and Holy Spirit.
When he left this world, a part of me left with him.
Smoke.
He was like a brother to me.
The smoke that, Father, you created with the cedar. We're thankful, Father, for all the men and women that have been in Sammy and in my life, Father. And one of these in particular is Hastings Shade and Loretta. We're so thankful for the blessings to know that one day we'll join them in the great beyond. He would say, don't idolize me, just keep up the work, you know. I was just a guy who was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time with the right people. Together we meshed, and we're quite the group, even though we're a bunch of liars.
We were proud of him and watching him do what he got to do. And I know to this very day, some of the things that I do, I try to emulate what he's done. I do it because I still want him to be proud of me. So.
When my dad was alive, we'd hook the boat up to one of our trucks. We'd load the equipment and the battery and life jackets, and we'd go down early in the morning and fish. I spent some time with my son doing the same thing, but it's sure hard coming down here knowing that, you know, you have your past down here and your folks were here with you, and it sure brings back a lot of memories. And Dad was always say, well, this is what God created for us, and this is what nature provided for us, and he said, let's go see what we can catch. We never took any more than what we needed, and he'd always say, we got to leave some for the rest of them. But when we had enough, it was time to go home. This little place down here provided a lot of meals for us, a lot of memories, a lot of good times. But yeah, a lot of fun down here.
Sequoia Guest, Woody Henson, and myself, we went to go visit Hastings' grave at Keener Church Cemetery. And while we was there, we talked about the things that we remembered about Hastings and the things that we all shared together. And as we were leaving, Sequoia and Woody was driving back home, and they said they saw an eagle flying up in the sky.
As I recall seeing that eagle after we left, it was doing the twists and turns. As we all know, it's the highest bird that flies closest to the heavens. So, always a good sign. Hastings, Sequoia, Sammy, myself. And it's sad that we're the only two left, but we know one day that circle of liars will be together again. I wish you were here, Hastings.